This conference will now be recorded.
Ready? Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 4:59. Would you do the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Crandall?
Yeah, here.
Mr. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Dunaway?
Here.
Could we rise?
Mr. Simplus absent.
Could we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes, and I'll move approval of our March 7th minutes.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Dunaway?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. All right, next item is the presentation by TMACOG. Rosanna, thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So nothing really big on the agenda. I just had spoken to Oliver. So I know many of you, but Rosanna Helsley. I'm with TMACOG now, but I've been working in local government, as many of you know, for about 14 years. I was at Township for 8.5, and the last 6.5 I was at the Village of Swanton overseeing municipal operations. And then this position opened up, and it's perfect for me and my family, and I get to be home with my kids because I don't have to go to council at 7 p.m. at night. So that's great for me. But so that's a little bit about me. I brought a couple things, but I wanted to start with, I also love history. That's what my undergrad degree is in. And TMACOG is celebrating 55 years this year, and Sylvania Township has been a member for 55 years. So I wanted to say thank you. Founding member, always been a member. And the gentleman named Fred Bosselman, is that ring a bell to you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Bosselman, trustee Bosselman at that time, I copied the original minutes from the May 31st, 1968, first meeting of TMACOG, where Mr. Bosselman was assigned the representative for the Lucas County Townships. And I thought I would make a copy and give it to you so you can have that. So we appreciate the long-standing partnership with Sylvania Township. So I've been at TMACOG for 5 months, and I'm focusing on membership and outreach, and I'm doing it a little differently because I think I bring that perspective of local government, and I really want to come out and meet and be there because I understand the day-to-day kind of operations that happens at local governments, and I can bring that at TMACOG. So I'm bringing you some things so that you can read them at your leisure. I'm not going to bore you with any of this information. But I have our annual report, which talks about all of the fun stuff that we did in 2022. Our communication teams worked really hard to create that wonderful document, so that's in here for you. I also have these wonderful transportation legislative agendas and agenda for Lake Erie, which are 2 policy documents that we use to try to help the regional cooperation, right? So TMACOG, for those who don't know, TMACOG is an organization that has been in existence for 55 years, and we work on regional projects to advance water quality, transportation, economic development, things of that nature. Things have evolved over the last 55 years, but TMACOG has been part of it. Whether it's the regional water talks, the Glass City, or the Veteran Skyway, a variety of other things that TMACOG has been involved in. So this will talk about some of the things that we're currently working on. I also brought a flyer about the current initiative on a bypass to Columbus. So if you watched Jeff Smith over the weekend on Leading Edge, he did a whole piece on the bypass to Columbus. TMACOG is spearheading that and really trying to work with our partners. We have letters of support from Lucas County, Ottawa County, Sandusky County, cities of Perrysburg, Bowling Green, Sylvania, Toledo, and Fremont, as well as many representatives from around the state that are in support of this. So I brought this for you so that you have that at your leisure. We're always looking for more partners, so if you're interested in writing a letter or have a resolution support, we would be happy to work with you to get that if you feel so inclined. We do feel that it is very important because there are 38 traffic lights from here to Columbus. So if you've driven to Columbus, maybe to OTA for your conference, that is a very long drive, and those 38 traffic lights are a hindrance for us here in Northwest Ohio. We think that when the Gordie Howe Bridge opens up in Detroit to Windsor, that's going to be a huge disadvantage if we don't do something to Columbus. So that's information about that. And then I have our transportation long-range plan for your leisure, just some, reading if you're bored. But it's all available there for you. In a couple weeks, if if somebody comes to our Board of Trustees meeting now, make sure we get them to you. We'll have our annual public official directory, which is a good one-stop shop for all the information about who's who here in Northwest Ohio in an elected or appointed position. But other than that, it's really just to say thank you. I'm here, I'm really excited and kind of hit the ground running in the last 4 months to try to be like, TMACOG needs to be out there. So that's why I'm here, and I'm happy to answer any questions, but if not, that's all I have.
What's for dinner tonight?
What's for dinner tonight? Well, it's not Taco Tuesday, so I think we're gonna do roasted chicken tonight, so I can be home and make it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any questions? Neil, any more? I appreciate the push for the bypass of Delaware, but I think we even need, and they mentioned it, grade separations on 15 would also be very helpful.
Mhm.
This isn't, as you know, it's not a new idea.
No, it's not.
This has been around, expressway, it's just, we sure need better connection. And I hope our board can support a letter. We'll look at what you have, but we won't do that this evening, but we'll take a look at that. And whose place did you take there? Or didn't you take somebody's place?
I did take somebody's place, Vilda Mitchell. She had been there for about 6 years, and she had moved out of state. And when I had left my position, the position sat vacant for about 4 months. I think they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do, and then I got a call that said, hey, this is still open. I think you would be interested, so.
You'll bring a perspective that TMACOG needs of local, I mean, they're there for the big agencies. I'm glad, what did you say when Boston was? I don't know if you ever had a visitor before. So
I will tell you,
you're on a good start, I think.
I have looked through as many files as I possibly can. I'm very strategic with my outreach, I think. I cannot find any documentation that anybody from TMACOG has visited Sylvania Township in the last 50 years.
That's what I was gonna say all this time. It's nice to see somebody.
Yes, so I plan on making sure that other communities that are in the same boat have the same luxury of people at TMACOG.
And if you have a chance, I'd like to introduce you to Oliver.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you're good friends.
Yeah. Oliver and I went to grad school together, so
right.
you have a good one here,
Okay.
I'll tell you. It's good to have good administrators around.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful profession. It's great that Oliver is contributing as much as he can.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
this is
Rosanna.
Oliver, and if you have my contact, it's in here, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item, since this is a special meeting, but we're combining 2 of our regular meetings, I'd like, it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to see if there's any other public comments or agenda items this evening. Okay, if there's not, we'll move on to the zoning department. Daryl?
Good evening.
Hi, Daryl.
I just have one item this evening. It's resolution 23048, authorization to remove 3 junk vehicles at the property at 4725 Mary Hill Road. I believe the board is familiar with this case. It's been going on for a long time. Hopefully we're getting to the light at the end of the tunnel here.
Any questions for Daryl? If not, I'll move resolution 23048, authorization to remove junk vehicles on Mary Hill.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes,
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you.
and Daryl, thanks for your efforts on this. I know this is not multiple months, it's multiple years, so appreciate you sticking with it.
Good
Thank
work.
Chief, next item on the agenda is the police department.
All right, it's the,
Hi, Paul.
thirdly reports or whatever, you know, like going in a little bit into last year, and this year, January, February. We've started off pretty normal, I hate to say it, I kind of would, nothing over the top, outlandish, or, you know, out of the ordinary, so, we're proceeding right now. Well, we're doing interviews this week for, new hires, so we finished backgrounds, and we're starting, all day Wednesday, Thursday, lunch interviews, so I think we got a lot of good candidates. I'm hoping that it's going to be a hard selection. So that's kind of, I don't know if you have any questions over any of the previous reports or anything.
I don't, I'm glad to hear you're getting some recruits. So. Anything from you?
We're interviewing for the laterals, so, and we're still working on the actual new people, just got a lot of lateral interest.
Good. Well, I think we've improved that situation.
We had to steal from other agencies, and it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as they don't steal from us.
So long as it's good.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there right now.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Paul.
you, Chief. All right, next is the fire department.
Hi,
Hi,
Mike.
Chief.
Good afternoon. I only have one resolution. Let me give you a little feedback on this one. This is one of those KMEs that we're trying to replace, and the first new engine came in, and I got word the other day the second engine's due sometime early June. So then we would probably get another KME. This one, after meeting with Al, and actually I crawled under it with him, this one was the worst of the three. It's rotten out underneath pretty bad, and I was approached by the gentleman out at Penta County. I'm on the board for the fire class out there. The one they have now is in the early 70s that they got from Perrysburg City that they can't get parts for anymore. Al and I looked at this one. This one's in bad shape. We wouldn't even really be able to sell it on the open market because it shouldn't be going on EMS and fire calls because it's really bad, but they would be able to use it for the pump's fine, and they would be able to learn off of it. Thus, the reason I was asking to be able to sell it to them for $1,000. We estimated it's worth maybe $2,500, and we'd probably get into some war on gov deals on somebody wanting it. And not only that, I don't know if I want to sell it to someone that's going to drive it down. I know it's an as-is thing, but
Yeah, I wouldn't want the liability.
yeah, no, it's in pretty bad shape, but it'll work for them to pull it out to a hydrant and hook the hose up, and the students, and then hopefully along the line, some of those students that they're teaching out there will want to come here and work here too. So maybe a twofold on it. So our resolution is 23-046 to be able to sell one of the 2010 KME engines to Penta Career Center for $1,000.
After they see the engine, they might not want to come to work here, Chief.
Well,
Anyway.
when you look at their 73 or whatever it is, though, I think they're going to be happy with this one.
Any questions, Neil or
I do
John? None? All right, I'll move resolution 23-046, authorize the offer of a 2010 KME engine to Penta County Center for their training.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Crandall,
Yes,
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Genowine.
Yes.
thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Mike.
Mr. Turner, next item is the administrator.
Good evening, trustees.
Hi, Oliver.
The first item under the administrator's category is resolution 23047, approving an agreement for public information services. This agreement would be with the Sylvania Advantage. It was modeled on the prior agreement with Mike Jones, who served as the public information officer. Under the scope of the work as the service provider, there's an outline of the services which would be provided. The significant overlap between those services and the services that Mike provided. And the term would start out at the beginning of March and last through the end of the current year. There would be an option to extend the agreement for an additional 12 months. And the compensation would remain the same as previously at a rate of $1,000 per month. If I can answer any questions that the board might have.
If there's no questions, I'll move resolution 23047, a resolution approving an agreement for public information services.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Genowine.
Yes.
Mr. Crandall.
Yes. Next item,
Next item is resolution 23052, resolution to accept an agreed upon recommendation from the healthcare committee. Provided for the trustees on the table is an updated resolution from the version that was distributed. There was an adjustment to take this from a 12-month to a 9-month extension, which would be an extension of the current network agreement with FrontPath. And this would be to increase the network access fee per employee per month from $7 to $2. We don't expect that to increase the cost more than $1,500. And this is a continuation of the current arrangement at this
We've seen this draft. If there's no questions, I'll move resolution 23052. A resolution to accept and agree upon the recommendation from the Healthcare Committee to extend the present contract 9 months.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes,
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
next one.
Thank you. Resolution 23053, a resolution to approve a technical proposal for professional services. The proposal was received from Audie Gates with Bergman, and this would provide for the additional work related to the grounds at Fire Station 1. This includes design engineering as well as support for bidding and the construction administration process. Specifically, it includes analysis and design to replace the on-site fill with lightweight product, design support for fill replacement work, as well as work associated with the underpinning of concrete generator enclosure on the property of Fire Station 1 and an improved drainage system. They would assist with the development of construction documentations, as well as provide assistance for bidding and project administration. Now, the total cost would not exceed $39,500, and our current scope of work that has been approved is running under budget by approximately $10,000. We would expect to apply that as a credit, working with Berg. Mr. Gates is here as well to answer any specific technical questions that
If there's no questions, we've seen the draft resolution. I'll move resolution 23053, a resolution to approve technical proposal for professional service at Fire Station number 1.
Second.
Okay, call roll, Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. Thanks,
Thank you.
Oliver.
Enron, are you next, or we got the fiscal officer? Okay, thank you.
This analysis is for the month of February, and you can see that at this stage, we had only received 2 advances because the settlement did not come till March. And based on the revenue analysis, we are doing pretty good because our target was 16.7, and we are really exceeding in everything. And expenditure at this stage is, this is very, we cannot conclude anything at this such early stage. So right now, on this one, I'm really focused on the revenue that we're doing good.
We've all seen this. If there's any questions, I'll move. If there isn't any questions, I'll remove, or we don't need approval of this, do we? Or we just accept the monthly reports? I'm sorry, let's go on to the next item.
This is those ESET projects. Lucas County had informed us that we have got a new special assessment plan to be established because there is a new energy efficiency project. So that's why we are establishing this, because it's a flow through, and basically the special assessment comes to us in the new format.
Okay, if there's no questions, I'll move resolution 23049 to establish new revenue and expense accounts and appropriate funds.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Next item.
This is just an interfund transfer between the fund 436 for the payment of the new lease and interest. The ambulance which we had to purchase. No, we will be purchasing after 5 years, but one of the first lease payment is due. And what this does is that one line item is accommodating the other line item because we have got some room. So it's pretty usual in the interfund transfers.
If there's no questions, I'll move resolution 23050, transfer of appropriations.
Second.
Okay, call roll, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
these are the various items where we have increased encumbrances. I'll just go through the significant one, like you see that there is a 200,000 one. Basically, it's the EPA recycling proceeds which we have been expecting since past 1 or 2 years, and now they are coming. So basically, we have to increase encumbrances. Another one would be like number 2, we have to transfer out some money. General fund has to transfer some money to the capital project fund because the additional funding is needed for the senior center HVAC system, and because this is based on our agreement with them, between the city of Beijing and us, we share. And then as the money goes to the 432, if you come down, I mean, you'll see that then correspondingly, you have to increase the encumbrances in the same funds. So it's interrelated. And there's one reduction that police is not expected to be reimbursed for CBD training, so we have to reduce that. It's pretty typical normal ones.
Okay, if there's no questions or comments, I'll move resolution 23051, Township Appropriation from unencumbered balance and reducing appropriations.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Crandall,
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney,
Yes.
Mr. Genoway.
Yes.
Next item is not on the agenda, but we'll open up if there's any comments the public would like to make on non-agenda items. Okay, if not, we'll move up to open discussion and announcements. Do you have anything, John?
I do not.
Anything?
Not this evening,
I
thank
do
you.
not either. So I'll move adjournment at 5:21.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Mahoney,
Yes.
Mr. Genoway.
Yes.
Mr. Crandall.
Yes, thanks for attending.
All right, thanks, everybody.